When is running no longer a way to get from one place to another, or a way to exercise? When is it more? When is running a way to reach a necessity, to get a loved one? When running is a way to escape? Running gains deeper meaning when it symbolizes something greater, something powerful that words alone can't express. I found myself thinking about this a few weeks ago while watching a particular film, Head, a movie that's been compared to 2001: A Space Odyssey for the way that it is a total film experience and a rare kinetic experience. This movie keeps drawing me back. Why? Well, because I love the Monkees.
Yeah, it doesn't leave much time for your music. You should spend more time on it because the youth of America depends on you to show the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Monkees is the craziest people.
But also because each view reveals something new, something that fascinates or excites me all over again. My most recent time I watched it, I noticed that they were running. A lot. Through battlefields, from authority figures, and even from themselves. But what exactly are they running from?
Stop.
Dorian Lynskey wrote about the film, saying, in the movie, the Monkees are hoodwinked, bamboozled, chased, assaulted, mocked, and trapped. Violence never escapes the group. Even through violence, pacifism, and indifference, the Monkees cannot escape this. Paul B. Rawmaker's article, You Think They Call Us Plastic Now? The Monkees in Head, from the book Soundtrack Available, breaks down the opening scene, saying, the film opens on a ceremony dedicating a bridge, a stiff establishment affair, disrupted by the sudden appearance of the Monkees running frantically as if being chased. With no explanation, Mickey climbs onto the railing and then jumps, while the rest of the band looks on, a metaphoric suicide. Head is focused on this imagery of death. The film is structured like an acid trip, with scenes shifting abruptly, often dissolving into one another with little logical connection, much like the shifting perceptions experienced during a trip. The film is also structured in a circular fashion, beginning where it ends and ending where it just began. He writes, only now all the Monkees leap into the psychedelic void, as with the circular trajectory of the LSD trip. We literally return to the beginning. Here, the promise of escape from constraints, both the psychedelic experience and Head are concerned with freedom, one with freedom from the personality and the establishment. The film becomes an endless loop where time becomes distorted, and one sense of reality is continuously deconstructed and reconstructed. Band member and star of the film Peter Tork even said the point of the movie is the Monkees never get out, which to say that Bob Rafelson's view of life is you never get out of the black box you're in. There is no escape. They sing it happily in the beginning.
Hey, hey, we are the Monkees. You know we love to please. A manufactured image with no philosophies.
We hope you like our story, although there isn't one. That is to say, there's many. That way there is more fun.
You've told us you like action and games of many kinds. You like to dance, we like to sing, so let's all lose our minds.
We know it doesn't matter, because what you came to see is what we'd love to give you, and give it 1, 2, 3.
But it may come 3, 2, 1, 2, or jump from 9 to 5. And when you see the end in sight, the beginning may arrive.
For those who look for meanings, in form as they do fact, we might tell you one thing, but we'd only take it back.
Not back like in a box back, not back like in a race, not back so we can keep it, but back in time and space.
You say we're manufactured. To that we all agree. So make your choice and we'll rejoice in never being free.
Hey, hey, we are the Monkees. We've said it all before. The money's in, we're made of tin, we're here to give you more. The money's in, we're made of tin, we're here to give you
They're pop music gorillas rattling at their cage, knowing they'll never be free. Free from what? Luckily, the film spells that out for us.
Give me the go! Give me the Give me the more! What does it spell?
In Head, running takes on a deeper, more poignant meaning. It becomes a metaphor for an entire generation's desire to escape. A generation haunted by the violence and turmoil of the Vietnam War. The film was released in 1968, at the height of Vietnam, when the counterculture movement was in full swing. Young people questioning authority, rejecting societal norms, and protesting a war that they did not believe in. This film captures the spirit of rebellion and confusion.
The credit printed, please. Good hit. All right, that should be it.
There's a moment where the film breaks, revealing the crew and set. It shatters the illusion of cinema. This exposes the artificiality of filmmaking, reflecting the Monkees' own struggles with their manufactured public image during this confusing time. The chaotic, unstable camera work mirrors the uncertainty and disillusionment of the Vietnam era, while the sudden appearance of the crew reminds the audience that everything they're seeing is constructed, even the Monkees themselves, made to be a distraction from what's happening in the real world.
It's a movie for kids. They're not gonna dig it, man. It's gotta make a word.
This fracture of the film reflects the fractured state of what's happening. Rawmaker writes, the intrusion of jerky handheld camera work seems meant to cement the notion that the illusion is being broken here. The illusion of TV and film as a distraction is failing.
Hey, come on, stop playing. It's all over. It's an act. Come on, get up.
Well, stop kicking me.
Oh, I don't want to do this anymore, man. Oh, these fake arrows and this junk and the fake trees. Bob, I'm through. Oh, it stinks, man.
Hey, well, Mickey, wait a minute.
Take 30.
Well, Mickey, wait a minute, man. I'll go with you. Wait, hold on.
The Monkees must run through scenes of violence and destruction, reflecting the turmoil. In one scene, they even dash through a war zone, dodging explosions and gunfire. It's absurd, surreal, yet eerily real, a reflection of the chaos broadcast on televisions across America daily. Reflecting on this moment in the film, Rafelson commented, "Wars in some sense are staged for the media, if not created by the media, and I found that ugly and worth making fun of."
Hold it. This is for life.
Make hay while the sun shines.
This box is right now composes our universe, but
This is life.
The film and television from this time are more aware than ever, literally breaking the illusion for the audience, forcing them to remember that they are watching a film and being distracted.
Psychologically speaking, the human mind, or brain, or whatever, is almost incapable of distinguishing between the real and the vividly imagined experience, sound and film, of music and radio. Even these manipulated experiences are received more or less directly and uninterpreted by the mind. They are cataloged and recorded and either acted upon directly or stored in the memory, or both. Now, this process, unless we pay it tremendous attention, begins to separate us from the reality of the now. Am I being clear? For we must allow the reality of the now to just happen as it happens. Observe and act with clarity. For where there is clarity, there is no choice. And where there is choice, there is misery.
With the new counterculture, distraction is not working anymore. War and violence is everywhere, media included. There was no escape, and the youth made sure of it. This hyper-awareness led to a breaking of the illusion, forcing them to take a stand and act to find freedom. They had to stop running. Historian Terry Anderson pointed out that what the hippies, as escapists, rejectionists, and oppositionists, were able to do was remarkably political. They significantly altered Cold War culture. The result is more personal freedom than at any time in the history of the Republic of the United States.
Walking around with beads and long hair and flowers. They're not hippies anymore?
No, they're free people.
Russell Duncan uses his article, The Summer of Love and Protest, Transatlantic Counterculture in the 1960s, to break down hippie life during this time. He writes, "Hippies evoked the myth of the American frontier in its cowboy leather, pieced-together scraps of fabric, American Indian beadwork, woven, crocheted, and knitted handmaids, Vietnam, U.S. Army shirts, and long hair. The idea was to use whatever was available, over-manufactured and abundant, a leveling of everybody from soldiers to hippies, all together now." By the late 1960s, wearing army shirts was also a way to reach out to those 18-year-olds drafted into the war. By saying clearly, we aren't against the soldiers, we are against the war. Hippies used fashion as a way of running, pulling from the past, using American iconography. cowboys, native beadwork, even Victorian fashion, to create something new.
You're too. Mike, wear those beads, you're a hippie.
Oh, yeah.
You got long hair, you're a hippie.
Something of a counter from the norm. A way to run from the norm, from what was expected of them, how society wanted them to dress and act. A way to run from adulthood. But despite all the art and peace and love messaging, the war still continued. The world doesn't stop spinning for young folks to speak their minds.
The hippie movement is dead. It was buried in San Francisco.
Head speaks to the disillusionment of the 1960s counterculture. It led to the spark of a new Hollywood, one led by these ideas, a Hollywood for the counterculture. It's a film about running away from violence, from control, from conformity, but never quite breaking free. It's a realistic take on the world around us. We distract ourselves with TV and film instead of facing what's real. A way that we run away from the reality of violence. Instead, we should attempt to face the real world head on.
Secrets and let down your hair and sit with me here by the firelight.
Peace and love
And everything else.